Now eventually the thinnest part of the back will be right before the heart. Now we still have good response. Hello, Opophiles! Today we're talking about reed making. We're going to work on the second day of scraping. Now I've done the first day of scraping in a different video, which is in the description, and that's actually this reed here. Unfortunately, I already scraped this one, so we can't see what that reed looks like on the second day, but I have one that I made yesterday, which is in bulk condition, so we'll scrape that one down. And actually this one turned out okay, so hopefully we can repeat the process. So if you want to figure out how to test your reed to make sure it sounds good, that video is also in the description. And let's get into reed making. We have two reeds here. The one on the left is the first day scrape. Notice that there's no definition between the parts of the reed. There is a thinness on the end which will become the tip. The reed on the right is the second day scrape at completion. There's a clear definition between the parts of the reed, and there's still a lot of meat on the transition between the heart and the tip. So our goal is to turn the left reed into the reed on the right. So we want to have an idea of where we want the parts of the reed to end and begin. So I would normally just do it visually by kind of feel and just knowing by habit, but we're going to mark it so we can follow along until, of course, the pencil marks get smudged off. But we're going to have the heart begin at 61 millimeters, and I'm measuring, of course, from the bottom of the cork, just like I was in the previous video, if you're following along. And the tip, I want that to begin at 66 millimeters from the bottom. Now, if you need a cool ruler like this, they're very like in style, or you want to buy any of the reed materials that I'm using, I'll have a link to them, to my favorite materials, in the description as well. But we're going to follow these measurements for today, so you can kind of see, and we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So you can kind of start to see from the first day scrape where these parts were planned to be. Oh dear. We're kind of planning ahead. So from the first day scrape, now that you know where we're headed, we'll have like these dimensions kind of in mind. Okay, now that the plaque is in, you can really tell that the slope is smooth. And I'm just going to scrape right at the 66 mark onward toward the corners of the tip and just really bring some definition into that tip. So if the knife is sharp enough, you should be able to use no pressure and just take the cane off so that you can get that real nice thinness at the end of the reed. And if you feel the knife bumping into the plaque, your knife might not be sharp enough. Alright, so I'm going to do a little bit more on this side. And again, I'm just keeping the knife out of the middle, just scraping the sides. Now, some cane is going to come off in the middle of the tip because the cane is round and the knife is flat. Well, my knife is actually a little bit rounded because of the way I sharpen it, but most theoretical things would say that the knife is flat, right? So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. You just want to keep the symmetry the same from front to back. And then we'll try out the reed and see how we're doing. While I'm scraping, it's a good opportunity to remind you guys to help out the channel by subscribing and hitting that thumbs up button. And if you have questions, or maybe you like had something that worked or didn't work for you reed making wise, let me know in the comments. I'd be super curious to know. Maybe I can talk about it in a future video. Alright, we're going to try that. So now we're going to crow the reed and see what we hear. Alright, so I hear it crowing a B, and I'm getting the lowest crow, by the way. If you need instructions on how to crow your reed, Dr. Parker from UT has a great video on that, and I'll link to that below as well. But I'm definitely trying to hear just what the reed does naturally. So I don't hear a lot of trash in it anymore, which is good, but I definitely need to clip it up to pitch, so we'll do that now. So you might have noticed I clipped quite a bit off, more than I would if I was just finishing the reed. The reason is I really wanted to get the pitch of the reed higher, so let's see what happened. Okay, so the reed is crowing much higher than before. I'd say it's like a little bit higher than like a nice round C. And we've lost some of the overtones. Oh, there they are. Okay, but you definitely can't ease into the lower octaves. So now we're going to scrape more out of the body and back of the reed to try and get the rest of the reed to vibrate more instantaneously. And that'll help the response and things. Just so we can hear it playing, let's hear it on the oboe real fast. So it sounds okay. The response is not where it needs to be. The initial attack of the reed is okay, but it doesn't vibrate through the whole thing yet. There was a time where I might have been really happy with this reed, but you need to really hold your standards high with the reeds, otherwise you'll be compensating with the way you're playing. Alright, so let's scrape on it. So at this stage you can see that the reed is still quite long. We've got about a millimeter of room to clip. So at any point, if the reed starts to go flat or lower than a C, I will clip it up. And my goal is to have it somewhere between a C and a C sharp at the crow. So technically you don't need to have the placking to scrape on the back. Sometimes I like to put it in for security. But at this stage I'm going to show what the scrape looks like without the plaque. And maybe later on in this reed we'll put the plaque back in. So as you can see, the cane is coming off in rolls. And that's good. We want that to happen. We want the knife to be sharp enough to where I don't have to put any pressure on. And this cane still comes off. Now I'm going to go really slow. But at home, you feel free. The back is like a good place to kind of take out your reed making energy and just kind of go up and down, straight up and down. Now eventually the thinnest part of the back will be right before the heart. But at this point I'm just reducing. Trying to maintain the curve and smoothness of the back into the heart. So I'm going a little bit past that line with some of the strokes, but mostly I'm respecting that line that we marked at 66, and it is disappearing. So I'm just scraping past that line, and notice we still preserved, I'm going to twist it back and forth so you can see the light reflected off at different angles. You can still see the spine through the reed. So we scraped off the back of the reed already. We're going to hear the crow. Actually, before we hear the crow, I want you to see what happened to the response. Because weirdly enough, we did not scrape on the tip at all, and yet... So we didn't scrape on the tip, and it's not perfect where we need it to be yet. The tip is still quite long. But the response is a lot better magically. So scraping on the back can sometimes like awaken the response of the tip, which is kind of a weird thing to me. But maybe you expected that to happen. I never do. It always shocks me. So now let's do the crow. I'm expecting it to be lower. So definitely it's a lot easier, but it is a little bit lower than I want it to be, so I'm going to clip it again. So now we're going to clip a little bit less than we did last time. So now the crow is a little bit closer to where we need it to be, which is good. Let's check what it sounds like in the oboe. And we're definitely moving closer to where we want the reed to be. But we're still not quite done. We need to do a little bit more definition in the tip, and now we want to get the rails of the tip much thinner and hopefully improve the reed before we put it away for the day. So we've scraped a lot on the tip, but there's still not a lot of definition between the heart and the tip, so I'd like to fix that. So I'm going to scrape right... Oh, I'm going to draw that line again because we've kind of lost it so you can see. But it should be... You can kind of tell, from my point of view, where the shadows are, but on camera it might not be as distinct, so we'll just mark it with a pencil so you can see. And we want to have a little bit of a rooftop on the top of the heart so we can kind of transition a little bit smoother. Alright, so that's where we want the definition to be, between the heart and the tip, so I'm just going to scrape that a little bit more. And if your knife is not sharp enough, this is where you'll lose part of your tip. So just be careful and sharpen your knife before you scrape. And as you're scraping, just be aware that your knife will, lose its edge. You might need to resharpen it a few times. I'm just taking out rolls of cane here. I would suspect that my knife is actually not sharp enough for some people, or for the preferences of some people. A lot of it has to do with the angle of your knife and how you can scrape. But for the purposes of this video, I think we're going to be okay. But there are some really cool sharpening techniques out there, and I'll link to those in the description as well. We're just in our last quadrant. Remember, we want to preserve the symmetry from front to back. So if you're going from side to side symmetry, that's good. But try to remember what it looks like. Take a photo in your mind. Or if you want to compare it, just go back and rotate the reed again so you can kind of see what is actually happening back there. And it will come up the rail. On this one, it's a little thick up there. We didn't quite get it the first time. And we kept our corner. Okay, good. So that's good. I'm just going to make it look... Let's see, I lost it on this side earlier. So not quite as finessed. Just get all the way to the end. And when I do this, I feel like I'm only taking off dust. But that's kind of where you're at right now. There's not a lot of cane left. So if you take away half of the cane, it might just be a little dust. Okay, so now, last thing I'm going to do in this stage is scrape at the top of the back into the heart. I'm just going to make the space between the back and the heart a little bit thinner than the rest of the back. And again, you want a sharp knife, even when you're scraping on the back. I've heard the myth from time to time that you don't need your knife to be sharp to scrape on the back, but I just got a ridge there, and you want to avoid that by having a sharp knife. I'm just going to come in. Now at this stage, it's really fun to check out the profile of the reed. If you can see the profile, you'll start to notice some curves happening. And you want it to kind of curve downward into the heart, and then curve upward for the plateau, or the heart, and then curve back into the tip, very smoothly. The more rigidness is going to cause resistance in the reed, so just be aware of that. Maybe you need resistance, so you might create a more angular transition. Alright, so now we've taken a lot more cane off the reed, so we're expecting the crow to be lower. Let's check though. But notice the transition from silence into sound and then into the bottom octave is way smoother now. So that's good, we're heading in the right direction. Now the reed's not done yet, and it is a little bit lower than I'd like it to be, so I'm going to clip it again. But we're very close to being done with the second day scrape. I think the clip is going to be the last thing I do. Okay. And now we'll check the crow again. It's a little north of a C, which I will take. I'm going to check that actually with my tuner. So it's good to have a tuner for reed making, especially if you're going fast. So I'll just keep that on. We're going to check it with that. So if we're at a C crowing, that's where we want to be. We're just going to play it one more time, and I'll probably put it away for the day and finish it tomorrow. So the last thing is that the response to lower register is not quite as easy as we want it to be, but that's going to be for a different day when I'm finishing the reed. Now we still have good response, and probably if I was going to play a rehearsal or something, I might be able to use this reed, or if I was just going to practice. This would be a great reed to just practice on and do some scales and things and really get some peanut butter in the reed and have it be a little bit more honest the next time I scrape it. But that's it for the second day read. I hope you guys got something out of it, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe below and hit the thumbs up button so that more people can get to see the video. YouTube will shoot it out to more people who could use it. As always, when in doubt, play beautifully.